Alright. So I haven't watched this before. And I'm just gonna see what happens. So I'm watching 7 Fatal on the whatever that is. I don't know what the name of that skin is, but it's sick. The dragon whatever Mordekaiser. I don't know, it's got a little dragon on the back, gold and shit. It's cool. I think they're playing mid against Annie. That's a tough lane, so this could be interesting to watch. Are they playing top? Oh my god, they are playing top. Dude, this guy is great. Let me check the email that I got to make sure that that's right. You get fed.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Alright, so this person says that they did pretty well, but they couldn't figure out a way to close out the game. And yeah, it looks like they're top against Jax. So I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of analysis on the mid game, but this person, or sorry, on the early game, but the person really asked me to analyze what to do with the advantage that they got in their
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So at level 1, this isn't really relevant. This happens all independently of Mordekaiser. And nothing really even happens anyway. Alright, so let's head up to the top. I'm gonna keep this on 2x speed. Briefly, actually, let's talk about this item build. This is a very standard thing. I don't like it. It's completely viable and it's great. I just don't do it ever. So the reason I don't like it is because Rejuvenation Bead is it doesn't really build into anything unless you are a huge fan of the Spirit Wraith Rush, or sorry, Spectral Wraith, which is fine if you are. I don't want to judge, but that's all I have to say about that. So it's a perfectly reasonable start. Jack started with boots, which are completely useless against Mordekaiser, so that's good. Good harass there. I like the stopping for CS, that's good. Pretty even trades. Another farm fest thing going on. The lane is pushing away from you, and the level 3 ganks are coming up, so let's see how that plays out. Because Elise is going to have... She would have had an easy time. Oh, but she decided not to go through the river because she saw that you had a ward. So she wants to get the lane gank off. Jarvan's just farming, so this is going to be a missed cocoon and nothing. Elise went in way too early. She could have waited for this lane to push farther and you could have been in some trouble. So that worked out fine for you. That's interesting. Let's watch that again. In slow motion. That's cool. He dodged it by like jumping over it. I can't. That's so next level. Holy shit. Alright. So that's a failed gank. And you're pushed up to the tower, which means you can either get tower damage, you can poke him under the tower, or you can go back. It looks like you're going for the... Yeah, you're trying to deny him CS. This is a good option. And I'm happy that you're doing this because you probably don't have enough gold for anything right now. Actually, this is a more aggressive play than even I would do. I generally go back as soon as I hit their tower initially, but in your case, this works out really well for you. So good job there, actually. I'm gonna fast forward. You're fucking this guy up right now. He's in a bad position. You have full health. He's out of potions. You still have 2 potions. Holy shit, like, you're in a good spot. So, there's not a whole lot to say. He goes in when he shouldn't. Baited by jungler. GG AFK. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I wish I could have navigated that better because that was sick. So let's talk about your shield usage here. You use your E and your Q. I think your E might have even hit her spiderlings, which gave you the bonus shield. If it did, that's like hella next level. She's in human form, and she switches, and then you hit her with E. So I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. I think you might have hit her spiderlings. Anyway, amazing use of shield. Good job. But anyway, we want to skip through this because you're just doing really well. Lane, pushing in, you're gonna ward. Good job. I like to put my wards a little deeper than this. Like, I don't really like your first ward, but because you're so far ahead, it actually doesn't matter. Like, Elise can show up, and you're just gonna kill both of them. So, in this situation, it's fine. Pushing, harassing, good job. You can tell Jax is in like a really terrible spot. And he's scared and everything. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call, so I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. Alright, I have to, I'm actually gonna be right back for like 2 seconds. I gotta do something. But don't go anywhere. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on, you're destroying Jax. Not a big deal, no jungler presence. Let's look at items real quick, just because I'm curious. You have a Hex deck, he has a Doran's Blade, so he hasn't even gotten to buy anything. Pushing, pushing, pushing. He decides to fight you. You kill him. Whoops, I didn't even get to look, but you're ahead, so that makes sense. You go back. That's smart. You could have taken, or you could have pushed the tower, but you decided that you have enough of an item, and you probably couldn't have killed it all the way. So that's good. Elise comes in, taxes the lane, even though he's behind. That's brutal. Does anything happen here? No, I guess not. Gank and stuff, I don't know. I really need to get better at this camera thing. I don't really know how this works. You get kills. Really far ahead. Let's pause for a second and look at how the rest of your team is doing. We have Jace in mid, down a kill. And he's like trucking bot lane, just farming Nami. So they have 6 kills. Excuse me, 6 kills on their carries. And you have 4 kills on yourself. So even though gold is kind of tied up, not even tied up because you just took a turret, so that's good. It's all on you to carry. So I guess that's what you were writing about in the email. So you don't really know how to turn this advantage into a win. And there's a couple in my mind. What I would do. Let's talk about that first. What I would do is I realized that I can push against Jax very comfortably with my 3 CS or 30 CS and 3 kill lead. I know I can keep taking towers as long as people don't show up. As long as Annie doesn't show up, I can keep taking towers. So what that means is that as long as you stay in the top lane and you keep pushing, you're gonna draw at least 2 people up here. Because Elise is gonna come up here, Annie's gonna come up here, and Jax is gonna be up here. It's it's pretty safe for you to give your team an advantage on the rest of the map by staying top. And as long as you keep everything warded, it's kind of a good plan. But let's see what you go for. Let's see if you do what I would have done. My cat wants to watch the replay too.
Shut down.
So you're farming up. I think you're going for the dragon. Sorry, I was watching the mini map. Just gonna double click on you real quick. Nice. Okay, so what you did worked out. You decided to group up and sort of snowball, or kind of stop the snowball on the rest of the map. So that's a good thing. But you're taking damage on the top tower. And well, let's see how this turns out for you, because I don't think Jax can take that. I think Jace is gonna get there in time. You're gonna get this tower for sure, and you might be able to dragon off of this. You backed off because Blitzcrank was here. I think you're gonna get out. Yep, okay, you're fine. Top tower is fine. You didn't actually end up taking this, I thought you would. But so far, that was a good decision. It's not the decision I would have made, but it worked out for you. So far you're playing well. You have a really good lead, and it looks like you're doing a good job with it. Alright, so you're continuing the sort of I'm gonna group with my team, gonna help them out thing. Maybe dragon again. This time around you're probably not gonna be able to stop the top tower from dying. This is probably gonna go down. So let's see what you get in return. You're gonna get mid. You're not gonna get mid because you're following up on this. Oh, that's rough. You could have taken mid for sure if you didn't go.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So that was a little bit. That was a little mistake. That's the first real mistake that I think you made. Your team decided that there was something here, and there was not anything here. There's no grab or any reason for you to run down here. You should have taken this tower. Absolutely. It's so low, and there's nobody can stop you. Like Annie's not gonna one-shot you. All she has is a Rod of Ages. So you ended up giving up this tower and not getting mid tower. I assume you get it pretty quickly, but in games like this, it's all about controlling objectives. You really have to watch out for that. Don't go for, even for kills over towers, don't go for that. And especially not for, nothing over towers. So you give up this tower, and you give up this tower, and you're going up top.
Red team's turret has been
So
destroyed.
you kind of had a bunch of pressure on the map that you just gave up. chasing this guy around. Don't get him. Ezreal's doing really poorly, but he stopped this tower from dying, so that's good. You could have also lost that tower, potentially. Alright, sorry. I saw that, so I had to reply. But anyway, going back to what you're doing. So now you've lost your tower and you're up top farming. You get this tower, but you're not applying pressure on the map right now. So you have to keep pushing. See, like it kind of that one mistake like kind of snowballed against you. It's not really I don't really know how best to describe it, but I guess the easy way is to say you're not focusing on objectives. You're focusing on kills or something else. So you're not really thinking, you know, what does putting myself top do for my team right now? So in that situation where you decided to go mid, your mentality was kind of oriented not for the tower, but for like, oh, you know, I have to stay with my team. That's kind of what it looks like anyway. So you weren't really going for something. You weren't going for dragon. You weren't going for the tower. You were just grouping because that's the right thing to do. And I think it looks, at least, I mean, I can't tell unless I really talk to you, but it seems as if you're not focusing on objectives as you should be. Because your lead doesn't mean anything if all you're doing is farming with it. And if you're not even getting kills, like you got nothing for the lead going mid that one time, and you lost the tower. The first time was okay, but the second time you knew that your tower was going to die because it was already low from the first time. And I really think split pushing is the correct thing to do in this situation. Mordekaiser is so good at it, and Mordekaiser's teamfight presence is not nearly as good as a bunch of other AP mids. Like, you don't really want to teamfight against a Fed Annie. You want to force a Fed Annie to go top, so that the rest of your team can teamfight without a Fed Annie, if that makes sense. So you get this, you're farming, yeah, we already saw this. And like at this point it's too late because you're not drawing anyone top. You're just you're farming while your team is, I mean, you know, they've been doing poorly, so like you can expect them to keep doing poorly. And that puts your team on the back foot, and then once you're on the back foot, you lose the tower, you lose the dragon. I don't know how this fight goes. Let me slow that down real quick. Play that back. Alright, so they take dragon. Nice little box. I love that. Love, literal love. Put W on a Jarvan in a box. Oh, that's amazing. Too bad you leveled Q instead of W. I recommend against this. Everyone does it, except for me, I think, but I don't like it. You should level W second. It's situations like this. In every team fight, you're gonna get more of this than of your Q. Like, you just hit someone with Q, that didn't do anything. If that W had been leveled instead, that would have been a kill. That would have been a kill as well. I guess they were both kills anyway, but you would have killed them instead of having the flash or anything. Anyway, so that's good. You turned that dragon around. 3 for 1. And let's see what you get off of it. Very good. Tank with a bro. Little tip here. As you're tanking this, notice that the tower's armor is 210. You might know this already, but just for everyone who might not know this. So you're not doing a whole lot of damage. And then as soon as the minions come up, let's see if they ever do, it drops to 60. Like, holy shit. It's like 170 or whatever. I can't actually do math. Probably like 150. Yes, it's 150. Okay, I did the math. It's 150 armor if a minion is in range. So even though it's super cute that that you used Ashe to tank the tower, you would have taken the tower faster if you'd clear the minion wave first. Put Ashe on the tower, clear the minion wave, and then come back and take it with her. But whatever, that's just a minor like Mord mechanics sort of detail. Meanwhile, Jax is split pushing top. So you got kills, but you didn't get objectives. And you're kind of losing objectives as well. So that's not really good. It's not your fault really in this case. But I don't know. It's just kind of I feel like it's worth mentioning over and over because that objective mentality is really, really important if you want to turn leads into victories. So let's see. You're farming. That's fine. So let's think about like where would you put yourself now? You still have the split push option. You still know you can fight Jax 1 vs 1, and you know he's split pushing, so you can stop him from split pushing and take his tower. You go top. You know bot is struggling, and you know that there's still a tower out bot. And mid is kind of not worth going to anymore. It's kind of deep, and it will be far easier to take either this tower or this tower because it's low. And I think those are the two options that you should really go for. The other option is Baron, because Dragon is down, so the only other global objective is Baron. And it's way too early in the game to really think about that. You don't have really any like Baron taking dudes, so I'd like to see you go either bot or top. You can farm up. I don't know what you're farming for. Boots and something. I don't know. Alright, team fight. Someone gets caught. Someone gets killed. You could have gone in deeper here, I think. Let's play that back real quick. I guess you don't know where anyone else is, so you don't really know if this is 3v4 or 3v3. Like this, I see a lot of people do this. You don't have to stand back here. It might not have made a difference, but you could stand here. You can stand here. Like they're gonna focus the people that are low anyway. You don't have to run away this far. Even though they're getting caught and they're stupid, you can still hang out a little bit closer, and you might have actually been able to pick up a kill on Elise if you had, or maybe like scare them off. Yeah, like you would have scared Elise off, and she wouldn't have gotten that kill. So it would have been nice. 420. What is it? So I don't know if it would have made a difference, but definitely don't stand like way in the back like that. Bliss's grab was still on cooldown. Elise was low. Like you could have possibly made something happen if you stayed closer and like gotten into that fight instead of just running away. So now what I was saying doesn't really apply for like 30 seconds because you have to defend against what they do with their player advantage on the map right now. And it looks like, yeah, like you're defending mid, so that's fine. Nami should be going back, so that's not your fault. Alright, Nami died, so that's on her. Here it makes sense that you would stay a little bit back. And you didn't stay back, so that's kind of the reverse. Maybe you felt bad that you left him to die last time, so you felt you should go in that time. But here it was on Jarvan to get out. My brother's making dinner, so I had to help him out. Oh goodness, that's not good. Like, that kind of all snowballed off of the Jace go. I think he's gonna die here again. Yeah, okay. Not good, not good. Not your fault, but not good. Alright, so the map is even again. You have almost all your players up, and he's going back. This is in base. So you have an opportunity to put on some sort of pressure again. So let's see what you opt for. I think Dragon might have been called in chat. I don't have a timer, but by the looks of what you're doing, it looks like you're checking it. I don't remember when it was taken. I don't really want to go back. 3v2. You don't know that? Oh, don't run! Where are you going? Dude, 3v2. You have to go in on that. That's sort of the same idea. Like, if one of your teammates gets caught, they're gonna be focusing that guy. So you can stay in and you can fuck them up. You don't have to run away so quickly. Especially since I think you had complete vision of this, so you knew that it was only 2 people. You knew that you had a player advantage here, but you kind of left Nami to die. So definitely play a little bit more aggressive there. I think what might have been happening is you might have been frustrated with your team, so you're like, oh man, you know, Nami's getting caught, whatever. But that you could have turned that around potentially. All right, so back foot again. It's on them to do whatever they want. I don't know how to do this. There we go. Stuff is going down. So you're deciding here, finally to split push top. But well, I don't know. It could be a good decision, but you have to really make sure that it works out for you, because you don't know that Annie's not here. I think in this case it might make more sense to go mid, because you're not going to reach this tower for a while, and even if you do, you have no wards of any sort, and it'll be really hard to stop them from collapsing on you once you get to this tower. And you know, it's still full health. So again, like, this is kind of objective control in reverse. They're pushing mid, so you want to defend this, because you know you can't really take anything right now. All the minion waves are on your side. Dragon's down. Like, the only thing you could possibly fight for here is this mid tower. So I think going top might be giving up a little bit too much. Yeah, like, if you were here for this fight, that could have gone a lot better. Annie wasn't there. And you're coming now, but like now it's pretty much over. Or that, at least that skirmish was. You might start it again. Oh, I was hoping for the sick flash over the Wraith Wall, but alright, you'll get her. Nice. Dude, DFG before. I'm gonna play that back. Okay, I'm gonna keep messing this up.
A summoner has disconnected.
There we go.
A summoner has reconnected.
Elise walks up here. I don't know why she's walking up here, because she sees you with this horde. So she's just like trying to die. You use E before you DFG, and you use Q and then you DFG. Not necessary. Anyway, not a big deal. Small mechanical mistake. Okay, so you have an advantage. All your dudes are up. Jarvan's in base, but you have 5 people still. Mordekaiser. So Elise is helping you out. And you should definitely be pressuring something. You have 25 seconds. And in this case, yeah, the obvious... No! 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 Where are you going? Why aren't you pressuring this tower? It was 5v3. Alright, are you gonna get dragon at least? Good ward. That's a really good spot for wards before dragon. It gives as red side anyway. Jax isn't here, so this should be free. No contest. Cool. Alright, so now it's 5v5. You're down. How did Ash get low? I guess she was still low for something else. You're down a little bit of gold for it. You're in a kind of a good spot. Ooh, you're in a really good spot. She lives. You're almost dead, so... Well, I guess we can do a play-by-play of this fight, actually. Might be cool. So what's going on here? Ezreal is trying to murder Jax. You catch Annie. I really cannot use this variant. There we go. Arrow piecing. But you take all of her burst. And you don't manage to kill her. Ashe isn't even here. Ezreal's still 1v1ing Jax. I don't know, there's not really anything you could have done there. The biggest thing was... It just sucked. Like, Ezreal tried to 1v1 a Jax, which doesn't work. You're fed and you got focused, so you got knocked out of the fight even though you didn't die. And then Annie didn't even die, because she flashed out and Jarvan dove really deep. So, it's not your fault, but if I was your team manager, I'd be very upset with that fight. Mostly with Ezreal. What? You got a kill? Whatever, I'll take it. I don't. That happened too quickly. So you turned around right as soon as I was done explaining how terrible that was. You turned it around. So that's great, and I'm happy. That's good, actually. I was gonna say why Negatron, but you're getting focused by Fed Elise and Fed Annie, so that's good. I only just saw that randomly.
Blue team's turret has
Alright, let's keep going for a little bit. So, map resets again. You have Annie's busy here, Ezreal's busy here. Otherwise, it's pretty much 5v5 in a couple of seconds whenever them spawns comes out of base. And you really need to make something happen again. You have a lot better ward coverage than they do. This is cute, actually, like these 4 wards. I wonder if those are all placed by the same person. There's a little symmetry. So your team is clearly going for Baron. Let's talk about what that means. That means you're trying to do a little dance. Maybe have an Oracles, which you don't have. But she has pink wards. Is that 2 or 1? I can't really tell. I think that's 2. Does it say here? No, I can't. There's a little number on it. I think it's 2. But anyway, so you're trying to like fight for control over the Baron. And generally, that means you're trying to fight. Like, you're trying to force a fight, win the fight with the vision you have, and take the Baron. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work out for you. Oh, you do have an Oracle, so Jarvan has it. But, oh man. What happened here? I think you could have really... You could have not been here. I think in this situation you have to be with your team. Like, your team is oriented around an objective. In this case it's Baron, and you're just not with them at all. If you don't want them to fight for it, you should ping them back or something. But going to take Wolves in this case, like you're already 11-1, you kind of have a lot of items, you really need to start making things happen with your lead. Which is exactly what your email was about. This is a mistake on your part. So even though they get caught because they're dumb, if you were here at this time, you could have made this better. You might still make it better, because every time I've said it so far, you turn it around. But no, yeah, it looks like they just get a catch, get 2 catches, and this is at least partially your fault. I can't navigate this at all. I'm sorry. 3 kills. That's partially on you. I don't want to say like it's your fault because they got caught, but that would have been a cool turnaround if Ashe did, or if Ashe's shield saved you. But unfortunately, that you didn't. So yeah, like it's literally like you took wolves, your team did stupid stuff, and you lost 3 kills and an objective.
Rampage.
4 kills and an objective.
Red team's turret
4
has
kills
been
and 2
destroyed.
objectives. They're probably going to take this tower. Might as well fast forward. 5 kills. They took a tower. You're gonna pentakill? Yes? No? Maybe? Nah. Nami lives. Okay, cool. Yeah, you lost 2 towers, 5 kills, got a kill. Not great. And so, like, kind of, I don't know if it sounds like I'm saying you're like the worst player ever, but I want to emphasize that it's not that you're a terrible player for taking wolves. The fact is that League is a really, really careful game, and you can't make any mistakes at all, because single mistakes, like you took wolves, you lost 5 kills and 2 towers. That's not because you're literally so bad that like you're, you know, worthless or whatever. It's because League is a game where if a team gets an advantage, and you can see this especially in LCS where teams know how to take care of, or sorry, how to take advantage of their like greater numbers or of their better map awareness, or sorry, map coverage or whatever. As soon as they get a kill in mid and start winning a fight, they can just keep taking objectives. And their team has just done a better job overall in being oriented around objectives and of making things happen with the advantage they've had. So it's not that you're terrible, it's that you really need to get your mind focused around taking towers, dragons, and barons and so on. Even buffs, like in higher level solo queue, like not even in diamond so much, but like if you watch like Dire's stream, they're gonna fight for every single blue buff and every single red buff. They don't kill people, they force people to walk into them. Like it's not really about catching people just because you're running around randomly. It's about forcing people to fight for stuff, and then you can win team fights that way. Anyway, moving on. So you're chilling. You're again the game has reset. There's no inhibitors down yet, so minion waves are kind of evenly pushing. And you have to choose again. Top tower is still an option, but as they've been pushing deeper and deeper into your base, it becomes a lot harder. So kind of your only option here is to either I would say you have 2 options. You can split push bottom, try to take this, and that forces them to fight for Baron, or you can group with your team and fight mid. You can't really split push top anymore as an option. Alright, so you're grouping mid, that's good. Arrow whip. You're 45. Why are you 45? How did Jace get down there? I don't know. This isn't good. It looks like you're gonna die. Jax is 1v3. Yeah, that sucks. That wasn't really your fault so much as just like a bad plan by your team. In this case, Jace is bottom when he needs to be mid. Or granted that Jace is bottom, you guys should be backing off and waiting for someone to stop Jace. So you're kind of all grouped up for this fight. You dodge the arrow, which is good, but you don't have flash, and you just kind of get screwed because your team leaves you. I don't know. You guys should have been backed out. here. So kind of think about like, what does Jace being bottom imply? It means that as long as you don't fight, he gets towers. So just like you really need to not fight because they're not going to win the 4v5, especially against a team that's 5k or 4k gold ahead of me. So you should have positioned more carefully in that
Blue
game.
team's turret has been destroyed.
What? Why did he just wall off Ezreal? Alright. At this point, the game is, by solo queue standards, it's over. So, there's probably not that much I can say about the rest of the game. Jace is doing a good job taking this. Let's see if he actually gets it. If he gets it, you're still in the game. But alright, so this is actually kind of cool. You turn that around, you get Annie, you don't get Elise.
Blue team's turret has been
You
destroyed.
take a tower and an inhibitor. So it's actually not as bad as
Shut down.
it looked at first. No, the question is, did Jace make a mistake? And the answer is no. Jace did exactly what he should have done, given perfect play by his team. And it's kind of the job of his team to not fight here. So that's a mistake by the 4 and not by the 1 foot pushing. He had the option of grouping, and that would have been fine too. But given the circumstances, it worked out really well, and I think it was the correct decision. I think split pushing bot in Baron dances works really well because it forces the 5 team to make really dumb decisions. It forces them to either bring people bot or to fight in like bad situations. But in this case, the team that didn't really have any pressure to do anything, which was the red team, actually ended up starting the fight and then getting caught for it. Because they couldn't win the 5v4. Or sorry, the 4v5.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Nothing really happens. Again, stuff is reset. You know Ash's bottom, you could rush Baron, but it's pink. I don't know. You look like you're typing. That's not good. Don't type. Alright, let's see how this works. Because it looks like it's gonna be a kill. Cool. It's actually really funny that this happened. So, exactly what I was talking about why split pushing is good, just happened to your team. Ashe goes bottom and she draws people there, and they get Baron because of it. This is why split pushing is amazing. Even though Ashe got caught and died, they got Baron for it. And that's... yeah, this is actually the end of times. I don't know where I am right now. Yeah, they kind of just destroyed your team. I didn't get to watch any of it, but that's what happened. So yeah, what I guess the summary of this game is. Oh, okay. Duck Theory. This is the person who I just watched. SSB Duck versus Duck Theory. But yeah, Duck Theory was when I said that he might have been, or they might have been typing. I think yeah, they were just waiting to see if Jax was gonna get in the base. So my bad on that. That was a smart thing if you were just waiting for that. But yeah, to summarize the game, probably. Okay. Sorry, responding to chat. To summarize the game, you had to choose objectives to take and sort of form yourself with your team in ways that allowed you to take those objectives. That doesn't necessarily mean you had to split push. I'm a really big fan of split pushing. I think in the early game, after you beat Jax and took his tower, like around here, I think you should have spent this time staying top and trying to take this tower. I think later on, in the situation where Jace was bot, I think it should have been you bot. And then consider what your team plan is, and sort of form yourself around that. Because you have to really put yourself in the best position possible when you have all of the kills. Getting all the kills doesn't do anything if you're in the wrong place. So I guess that's all I have to say. I hope that this helped you. I hope that you get better because of this. But it's really just orienting yourself around objectives being the most important thing in the game, and not kills, and not like abstract ideas like, oh, I should group. I should group is kind of useless if your group isn't doing anything. Like, you don't want to group for for rates or whatever, which makes sense. But yeah, that's all I've got.